How would you say, estou com vontade de comer uma pizza in English? If you don't know, stick around till the end of the video. Today, we're going to learn 6 common ways we express desire every day in English. Hi everyone, my name is Danny, your teacher and creator of Cultivando Inglês. Before we get started with our lesson, I'd like you to know that this lesson contains a free PDF of practice exercises for you to test what you learned from this video. You can download it by clicking on the link in the video description. Now let's get back to our lesson. First, let's start with the most common and most basic way to express desire, the verb to want. The verb to want can be followed by either a verb or a noun. When want is followed by a verb, the verb that follows must be in the infinitive. For example, I want to learn English. However, in everyday speech, we combine the word want with the word to from the infinitive, and we say wanna. So, instead of saying I want to learn English, we say I wanna learn English. However, we do not do this with the conjugation of the third person singular, wants. For example, he wants to eat does not change to he wanna eat. Now let's look at some examples of to want followed by a noun. I want a new phone. She wants a coffee. A politer version of the verb to want is the expression would like. For example, if you are in a restaurant ordering food, you should use I would like, as I want is not considered very polite. The expression would like can be followed by a verb, which must be in the infinitive form. For example, I would like to travel to Japan. Caroline would like to watch a movie. Would like can also be followed by a noun. For example, we would like some tea. He would like a sandwich. In everyday speech, we combine the pronoun and the word would when we speak. We replace the letters W, O, U, L in the word would with an apostrophe, and we add the apostrophe and the letter D on to the end of the pronoun. For example, I would like becomes I'd like. You would like, you'd like. She would like, she'd like. He would like, he'd like. We would like, we'd like. They would like, they'd like. Here are some examples of using this shortened version in a sentence. I'd like to go to the park. She'd like a piece of cake. To express a desire about a situation that is not currently true or a situation that is impossible, we use the verb to wish. In this case, the verb to wish is followed first by a pronoun or a noun, and then by a verb in the past tense. For example, they wish they had more money. She wishes she could speak Spanish fluently. I wish they were at the party. I wish you came to the mountains with us. I'd like to emphasize that even if the subject of the verb to wish and the verb that follows is the same, we have to repeat the subject. For example, I wish I had more money. This might sound redundant to someone who speaks Portuguese, but in English, we have to repeat the subject. To express a desire or an expectation for the future, we use the verb to hope. In this case, the verb to hope is followed by a pronoun or noun, and then by a verb in the present tense. For example, they hope Brazil wins the World Cup. I hope you have a good day. I hope I get a promotion at work. To express a spontaneous desire, we can use the verb to feel like. If a verb follows feel like, that verb must be in its ing form. For example, I feel like going out tonight. Peter feels like reading a book. The verb to feel like can also be followed by a noun. For example, I feel like pizza. I feel like some chocolate. I feel like a coffee. Another common expression for spontaneous desire is to be in the mood for. If followed by a verb, the verb must be in its ing form. For example, he's in the mood for dancing. I'm in the mood for playing video games. The expression to be in the mood for can also be followed by a noun. For example, I'm in the mood for sushi. He's in the mood for pizza. That's it. I hope you found this lesson useful. Now it's time for some homework. In the comments below, write 2 sentences using the expression to feel like. In the first sentence, use to feel like plus a verb. And in the second sentence, use to feel like plus a noun. If you found this lesson helpful, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel so that you can get notified whenever I post a new video. Thanks, and see you next time. Bye.